Right. Here we are, page 32, the body and the being. Being is the reason for your existence and for everything that is. Ceasing to be is impossible. It would mean that you cease to exist. But remember that what infinite consciousness creates cannot be uncreated. In fact, this is why when you denied your being, you had to create a personality or, quote, character to make up for the absence of its identity. It matters little if you call that false being ego, human being, self, or anything else. If it is not who you really are, it is not at all. For all the level of consciousness, there are only two possibilities: truth or illusion. You have seen how the body has been used to give a sense of existence and hence a sense of worth, to make oneself known or to experience pleasant sensations. If you are identified with the body, you believe that when you die, you cease to exist. This also applies to others, a clear example of identity confusion. By believing that the body can give you a sense of being or identity, you end up despising yourself, because realizing that it is finite, temporary, and limited, you cannot help but think that you are that as well. Deep down in those who hold this thought system is a great fear of ceasing to be, a fear that encompasses practically all earthly experience. This is the birthplace of all human acts, contrary to love. Remove the body, all meaning you attribute to it, strip it of any valuation you have given it or thought yourself about it. Strip it of every belief you have about what it is. You do not know or understand the body. The thinking mind cannot understand it in all its dimensions. Once you have removed all of that from the body, what remains is the naked truth, radiant, holy, and revealing its true meaning. It will not be revealed with words typical of the intellect, but will remind you in the perfect light of your consciousness. All right, let's hear this one more time. Georgie. Would you like to reread that to us?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Thank you.
The body and the being. Being is the reason for your existence and for everything that is. Ceasing to be is impossible. It would mean that you cease to exist. But remember that what infinite consciousness creates cannot be uncreated. In fact, this is why, when you denied your being, you had to create a personality or character to make up for the absence of its identity. It matters little if you call that false being, ego, human being, self, or anything else. If it is not who you really are, it is not at all. For at that level of consciousness, there are only two possibilities: truth or illusion. You have seen how the body has been used to give a sense of existence, enhance a sense of worth, to make itself known, or to experience pleasant sensations. If you are identified with the body, you believe that when you die, you cease to exist. This also applies to others. A clear example of identity confusion. By believing that the body can give you a sense of being or identity, you end up despising yourself. Because realizing that it is finite, temporary, and limited, you cannot help but think that you are that as well. Deep down in those who hold this thought system is a great fear of ceasing to be. A fear that encompasses practically all earthly experience. This is the birthplace of all human acts contrary to love. Remove from the body all meaning you attributed to it. Strip it of any valuation you have given it, or taught yourself about it. Strip it of every belief you have about what it is. You do not know or understand the body. The thinking mind cannot understand it in all its dimensions. Once you have removed all of that from the body, what remains is the naked truth, radiant, holy, and revealing its true meaning. It will not be revealed with words, typical of the intellect, but will remind you in the perfect light of your consciousness.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And welcome, Chris. Chris, we are at page 33 now. And the second paragraph, third paragraph. Awesome. Any thoughts, anybody? Frank.
Remember to lower my hand. This is a this morning experience. I just was reading this before the group, and I just kept being drawn deeper into it. I was further back since I'd missed last week, and if I may, I want to just add these two highlighted areas. I think it might be the only highlights I've put in this book. But I was talking about the body, and I said the body will serve the purpose of your happiness when you give it to love, giving all your impulses, sensations, and needs. Let me remind you that it was never the body that caused the experience of separation, but rather the belief that you had no relationship to the love you truly are. And then I skipped down, and then if your body vanished right now, you would still feel and perceive yourself the same. That just, I'm holding those in, like when we played the music Ave Maria starting out. I would hold those ideas in as I let that music just take me deeper. And then I'll just reread this one last paragraph in, because I see in this reading I just did and what we're doing, the way to go beyond the body on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. These all of your impulses, sensations, and needs. And for me, it's a closed eye awareness and embrace of the experience, and then a share. And in this paragraph, remove from the body all meaning you attributed to it. Strip it of any evaluation you have given it or taught yourself about it. Strip it of every belief you have about what it is. You do not know or understand the body. The thinking mind cannot understand it in all its dimensions. I just feel what's happening is there's such a personal guidance into this, creating this new elevated self and the understanding of the body that it just serves the purpose of communicating love into I guess, the physical form. That's my thoughts anyway. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for sharing that, Frank. I mean, out of humility, of course, more and more we ask, and you can call the Holy Spirit to move your hands and use your voice and direct you to the destination you're meant to be. Yes, we surrender to God. So this body is surrendered to God and to ourself to be used in the highest way possible. And that, of course, cannot happen when you think you are the body. Because, where we are with our body is a challenge sometimes. All right, awesome. Any other thoughts? Chris?
Yes, I'm so amazed of the words in that paragraph we read, because it leads to the nakedness of the mind, or the purification of the mind. I've been practicing a way to achieve that through a mindfulness technique called Vipassana, or insight, the ability to see within the sensations that are reactively arising within, and practice going within and seeing those reactions, but being the seer, the observer, non-reactively of those reactions, and allowing them to pass and remain identified with that witnesses that within. For me, it requires concentration, awareness, which I cultivate through the breath. But for me, going deeper using the breath really extracts eradicates those impurities so I could continue purifying the mind that is already pure, and support, as the Course in Miracles calls it, the removing of the obstacles to the awareness of that love, of that awareness. So as I speak now, I'm aware of the sensations of my vocal cords that are vibrating as I speak. I'm not the words then in its vibration. I'm the witness. And to me, that's the key to inner freedom from the fear and suffering of the ego. I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. And of course, what is the beautiful aspect of it, that because through all the, let's say, different sensations, the 4, 5, or 6 senses, we are actually knows what is going on. Yes, how we respond to things. Yes, because it gives you a feeling. When someone is lying, you actually can feel that in your body. So it becomes a way that we become aware of what is actually happening and how we are with that. So that's beautiful. All right, so let's read on a little bit more. And Iona, would you like to read us a couple of paragraphs?
When you free the body from every interpretation of what it is, the blessing of your holiness will pour out upon it. You will know it as blessed, a loving instrument of truth and love. It will be what it was always meant to be, and therefore what it is, the embodiment of love. How do you accomplish that? You know the answer. You live in unity with who you really are. Knowing your being is what gives you a sense of your true identity. Knowing your being is what gives you a sense of your true identity. You have come into the world with that knowledge, the unstoppable impulse to be. No matter what you do, you are always trying to be. Your life is simply the expression of this. Since what you are is your being, a being whose eternal and holy reality is far beyond any definition that the thinking mind can muster. You cannot eliminate it. From your being arises the need that you feel to be, that is, to have an identity. From your being arises the need that you feel to be, that is, to have an identity. This knowledge is so essential to you who are that. Sorry, I'll say that again. This knowledge is so essential to who you are that not even your denial can nullify it. You will be what you truly are, or nothing. That is the dilemma of the dual world. It has always been so and always will always be so in the divided mind. In other words, choose only love, and you will be doing your will, which is one with infinite consciousness, your source of creation.
There's one more line.
Blessed are you who hear my voice and follow it. Blessed are all my sons and daughters. Rest in my peace.
Yeah, that last line is beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. And we are all blessed because we do hear the voice and follow it, yes. And that's why we are getting together here every week. Yeah, because that becomes something that actually support the liberation of mankind. Yes, we can come for many reasons here, but one reason is it liberates mankind. And if you're motivated by that, then you just sometimes show up just for that. Iona.
It was beautiful to read that section. And I was just looking at everybody on the screen here, each one of you, and me too. And then suddenly when you strip away all the stuff that we've attributed to ourselves and see the pure radiance and expression of each of us, our individuated expression of being communicated through this body, it's just so, we're just such a beautiful palette of colors in creation. We're all different colors and shapes and sizes and voices and expressions of love. You know, one expression of love might be a little boring, but creation gave us billions of expressions of love, and even more so. So, yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Iona. Frank.
I was just laughing, Iona, because you had a pause before you got that last two sentences. And it was so clear that it's like you are the one saying that to us. Blessed are you who hear my voice and follow it. Blessed are all my sons and daughters. Rest in my peace. And I realized that when we're reading from the heart as we do so well, that is so literal. Blessed are you who hear my voice. And that's the same for what we carry out into the world as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. And then Mark or Dominique.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting, just the way we started out, because being is the reason for our existence and for everything that is. Ceasing to be is impossible. And I thought that was just an amazing line because, and then it goes on. I think it's in later on in that reading that it talks about whatever God creates is eternal and lasts forever and cannot be nullified. It can't be rescinded. It's like our beingness, which is who we are, which is God, has been brought forth, and it can never be not brought forth. It's always going to be there. You know, we will always be in the beingness of God. And it's just so wonderful to just marinate and soak that in, the beingness, you know, because this is the meaning to all of it, is that beingness and the being a part of the whole, which we truly are. And, you know, it's just like an amazing blessing, you know, and it gets better and better as we read on and understand more and more about our creation and God's creation. And I love the part where it also it blessed the body, you know, because we hear so often how the body is this and that. It's, you know, whatever, you know, you can kind of get a bad idea of what the body is, but it's not that at all. It's such a blessing. It's such a conduit for divinity to come through. You know, now that we know that this is the purpose, it's not the purpose to just live a great life and have a lot of toys and blah, blah, blah. You know, that's all nice stuff and everything. But in essence, it's meaningless, you know, but we have the understanding of what the true meaning of life is through these books and these writings and each other and our beingness and, you know, just being in that oneness, you know. So I just wanted to say something, guys, because I'm feeling like I'm bursting a bit. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we're all bursting open.
Yeah.
It's just depending how the light hits us. Chris. You just need to unmute, Chris.
I appreciate how that reading was read. There's a workshop that Eckhart Tolle made, and the title of the workshop is Stillness Speaks. So when we're experiencing inner stillness, it's like a eternal flame of source within, or eternal light. You shared that if you want to experience light, come to this group. And it's true. But if you want to experience light in others, be that light, radiate that eternal light that radiates outward, igniting, awakening the light that is already in the minds of others. I'm complete.
Thank you. Beautiful. We love to radiate. From a little spark may burst a mighty flame. So we're in that process. Let's see, Dominique, let's read this one more time, that last part. When you free the body. Page 33. You just have to unmute.
Thank you. Shall I go to the end?
Yep, all the way.
Okay.
Take us home.
Oof. When you free the body from every interpretation of what it is, the blessing of your holiness will pour out upon it. You will know it as blessed, a loving instrument of truth and love. It will be what it was always meant to be, and therefore what it is, the embodiment of love. How do you accomplish that? You know the answer. You live in unity with who you really are. Knowing your being is what gives you a sense of your true identity. You have come into the world with that knowledge, the unstoppable impulse to be. No matter what you do, you are always trying to be. Your life is simply the expression of this. Since what you are is your being, a being whose eternal and holy reality is far beyond any definition that the thinking mind can muster, you cannot eliminate it. From your being arises a need that you feel to be. That is, to have an identity. This knowledge is so essential to who you are that not even your denial can nullify it. You will be what you truly are, or nothing. I love that. That is the dilemma of the dual world. It has always been so and will always be so in the divine mind. In other words, choose only love, and you will be doing your will, which is one with infinite consciousness, your source of creation. Blessed are you who hear my voice and follow it. Blessed are all my son and daughter. Rest in my peace. And I wake up today with lighting a candle for all the people to be free in Israel and Gaza. This is what is the gift of being there one with them, all of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Yes, and that's in a sense what we all are doing. Yes, when we come together, we're not just lighting a candle, We're blazing a fire over this planet. All right. Let's go to chapter 5, the freedom to be. And Frank, if you can read us a couple of paragraphs.
Okay. The freedom to be. The truth dwells in you. Beloveds of heaven and earth, sons and daughters of holiness. Sometimes you look for concrete answers to the issues of everyday life. Often this comes from the habit of looking outside for what is created within. No recipe can tell you how life should be lived to be the faithful reflection of the love you are. Nevertheless, because questions have been asked, answers will be given. Surely each soul has the right to create its holy expression in its own way. Not even infinite consciousness would dare tell you what to do specifically at each step of your life. We will, however, bear witness to general guidelines that serve the discernment of what it means to live on earth as embodied love. This is especially true for this time of growing union between the divine and the human. This time from now until the achievement of the new earthly kingdom. To be told what you should do, how to behave, or what actions you should take without reminding you that you are free to be guided by your heart would be to assume that you do not know what the truth is. This is so far from what you are that it could not be sustained in the new. The reason why this work exists is to help you go from a life based on what others dictate to one in harmony with your being.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Yes, let's hear this one more time. Africa, do you have the book? No? Let's see. Mark.
Yeah, thank you, Hub. The freedom to be. The truth dwells in you, beloveds of heaven and earth, sons and daughters of holiness. Sometimes you look for concrete answers to the issues of everyday life. Often, this comes from the habit of looking outside for what is created within. No recipe can tell you how life should be lived to be the faithful reflection of the love you are. Nevertheless, because questions have been asked, answers will be given. Surely each soul has the right to create its holy expression in its own way. Not even infinite consciousness would dare tell you what to do specifically at each step of your life. We will, however, bear witness to general guidelines that serve the discernment of what it means to live on earth as embodied love. This is especially true for this time of growing union between the divine and the human. This time from now until the achievement of the new earthly kingdom. To be told what you should do, how to behave, or what actions you should take without reminding you that you are free to be guided by your heart would be to assume that you do not know what the truth is. This is so far from what you are that it could not be sustained in the new. The reason why this work exists is to help you go from a life based on what others dictate to one in harmony with your true being.
Yes, beautiful.
Thank you.
This is, of course, what is happening right now in the world. Yes, we are so used to live according to the dictations of the world, government and people and friends and family. And, you really should take that job. But I don't want to become a doctor. You should really take that job. So anyway, we realize that when we live in harmony with our heart, we are actually making the right decisions, yes? And that's also how we can express our free will. Yes, and that's how God talks to us, yes, through our hearts. The freedom to be. I mean, wow, the freedom to be, yes, in however you see that in relation to the truth. Frank.
How about this calling, this feeling of the heart being called? I surely can go back to the very first night of driving down into Durango for that felt experience when I had a miracle happen there. But it's continued to grow. And wow, turning points in our lives, decisions that we make in terms of being called and the strength of that magnetic calling to be up in the Denver area and having the question of how do I want the rest of my life to play out? And what would that look like? Just morphed into this magnetic again, even more so. So much so that it called me to move down here so strongly. There was no denying it. And the support system around me at that time sure didn't agree with the decision, but it was really absolutely the right thing to do. So thank you.
Yes, it's an interesting thing, yes, that when the heart speaks loud enough, we just know. No matter what the whole world is saying, we're going to move forward. Yes. And we have seen that, yes, with our parents and other things where we had a strong inclination. Parents said, no, I don't want you to. And you just, no matter what, you just went for it. Yes. That creates sometimes some tension or friction, but that's how powerful that force is, yes. Once you know what you need to do, you just do it. There's really not a choice. Yes. So yes, who are called to be here, yes, they will come because they have to, yes. Mark or Dominique?
Did you have something?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I just love that one line, second paragraph. Surely each soul has the right to create its holy expression in its own way. Not even infinite consciousness would dare to tell you what to do specifically at each step of your life. I think that's so beautiful because it's like I know in my own heart, I've always looked for like specific guidance, but not getting it, through the years, I realized this is my decision to make with everything that's been given to me, to make my own decision as the expression of God, the Son of God that I am, and it's so beautiful because God is so like wise with like the free will, it's like he never ever imposes his will on a free will, you know So I think that's just so wonderful. And it's a great example to us as well, to just, hands off on other people, and allow them to be their free spirit, their free will, and make their free decisions. And it's a great gift to give, someone, to allow them the freedom to be themselves. So anyway, thanks, guys.
Yes, these people who sit next to you in a car and tell you how to drive. This reminds you a little bit of that, yes. Let them just drive the way they want, yes. That's so funny. All right, Georgie.
I'm not very good with words in the moment. I'm much better at writing it down. But all I want to say here is that the echo, I feel the echo. It began with Frank saying about how he had to be here this evening. And that comes back to what, bless you, bless you, bless you, down here with your lovely lady. Mark. God knows everything. This surrender and letting go, which we know is the ultimate. But that little bit of mine that's left with that identity is still wanting to distract and draw us back. And as you said, Hub, to sit here in a group where you don't feel challenged, you can just be, as it just said there. About I must have just lost the page, but the freedom to be who you are. And there's lots of times I still get lost and think that, and it's not unworthy. I know I'm worthy, but it's just this mind that likes to complicate and niddle at. So I'm just saying it's so nice to be here with true souls who know that they're souls. I do tend to, when I'm out in the world, listen to people and I think, oh God, if only you knew. If only you knew who you are. And I think that's my challenge of the moment, because I just want to tell them who they are. And we know that they'll all get there in God's time. That's what he says. So just again, thank you for letting me be here. And it's lovely. You're all lovely. We're all lovely.
I think you're pretty good with words. Yes, the freedom to be. All right, my friends, let's, I see Chris will go to Chris and then we are going to do a little meditation. But Chris, please speak.
Yes. The I Am created us in its image. And the ego returned the favor. It creates in its image. So for me, I've been wanting to support the removal of obstacles to the awareness of my brothers and sisters' love that they are. And I've been receiving generous gifts from that. And one of the things that I'm not just vigilant about, ultra vigilant, is covering over my loved ones' decisions, i.e., my daughter, my sisters, family members, because I've witnessed, oh, I know your answer. Let me share that with you. And I missed the mark many times. So allowing and being aware that they're exactly where they need to be in this moment. So acceptance is such a powerful gift to family members who I've witnessed within me them wanting them not to suffer. Thus, I'm going to share something. I believe that is my greatest opportunity of extending acceptance. I'm complete.
Thank you. Yeah, that love that is inside us, of course, without discrimination, wants to flood people with it. And sometimes they are not ready. That's why we need to listen to guidance, yes? Not yet. But it's also because we are, in a sense, there's this impatience in us, yes? We want things to keep moving forward because that's how we are, and that's where we are at this point. But then, everything in its perfect timing, yes? All right, a couple of things. One thing, what I want to let everybody know, that there will be a new open session for 15 people in our house with Dr. Peoples, the 15th of November. And how do they sign up for that, Iona? Iona will send an email for that, so you guys can keep that in mind in case you want. You can ask one question. So that is nice because it has been a while, and you can read up what Dr. People is by going to Summer Bacon's website. What is summerbacon.com? Summer Bacon, like the things you eat in the morning.com. Summerbacon.com. All right, so I had the inspiration to specifically bless all the waters and the streams and all the water in the world, but also the ocean in combination with that. So I'm just gonna read, kind of guide you guys in one way I was thinking about doing that. So just find a comfortable position. And allow the body to relax. We only use our awareness, our intention, and everything else we leave up to God. From the base of the spine, we allow a cord sinking deep into the earth. And feeling that connection between the tailbone and the cord deep into the earth, we allow the energy from Mother Gaia to rise up all the way up till it reaches our lower chakra. It comes through our feet and legs into the tailbone, the pelvic floor. And we feel that energy, that loving energy of Mother Gaia filling us up to the second chakra, up into the third chakra. Up into our heart. And we allow the heart to be filled up. And we allow the heart to feel the connection between the heart, our heart, and the earth. And we feel the gratefulness in all the lower chakras and the heart of that support that is being given, that love that is entering inside of us right now, filling us up. And then we bring our attention to the heavens. And deep inside of the universe, we allow a cord to be tied down. And that cord is being brought down to our crown chakra. And we feel that connection between the crown chakra and the heaven and universe where you have tied your cord. And now we allow that energy that comes down from the heavens in whatever color fits you to come down and penetrate into our crown chakra. And with that, our head, eyes, nose, ears, brains, neck, jaws are all being filled up with this beautiful energy or light. And we allow that to slowly sink down through our throat and shoulders and arms and hands and chest and neck. The crown to the third eye, to the throat chakra, through all the chest into the heart chakra. And we allow it to be accumulated. We feel that connection between heaven and our heart, and we feel the filling up of our heart chakra with that energy or that light. And then again, we feel the depth of the earth and that energy rising again also to the heart chakra, and we feel the heart chakra is flowing over with love and kindness and gratitude. And we allow all that energy to flow and be imprinted in all the oceans, all the streams, all the ocean wildlife. And we see these 2 points from heaven and earth flowing through us in the heart chakra, and from there into the waters, into the oceans. And we tell the waters that we love it, we embrace it, we care for it. And we are grateful for the water's existence, its being, its life. And now we feel that water inside of us being informed the way we inform it. We give thanks for its support in our life, for its knowledge, its understanding, its memory. And thank you all for being here.